Everyone, welcome to part 2 of my 10th vlog, my special vlog that I'm doing here. As you remember, I was reviewing some games, and I'm going to continue with that. And the game I say reviewing, kind of just showing more than anything. This is, in history for me, one of the best games I've ever played. There's a series of them. Command & Conquer. Yep. Now, I know a lot of the games I've got on PlayStation, I know these are also on the PC. And I did have the PC one. It was like a DVD. It had every game on it. Command & Conquer, Red Alert, Retaliation, I think it was Aftermath. I think it had Red Alert 2, Yu's Revenge, and basically nearly everything. There's like a first-person shooter game as well. I think it was the Commandos or something, Special Operation. First-person shooter. It was okay. It wasn't that great, but it's a Command & Conquer game. So yeah, Command & Conquer, and Command & Conquer Red Alert. They are brilliant games, absolutely brilliant. They're RTSs. Some people might have played Command & Conquer 3, or I think it's Red Alert 3. They've done as well now, but these are the main two. Definitely these two. It was this one that started it off, and then Red Alert, which brought it up. And Red Alert basically opened up a whole new sort of can of worms. Well, just all different things in it, different vehicles, whatnot. And then you had the expansion packs, and they brought out extra sort of tanks and infantry and things you can do. Just so many possibilities, and they are old school, but good, because you've got the other ones now. You've got yeah, it's Red Alert 3, which is alright. It's pretty good. It's got a lot of stuff in it, but I don't know. Red Alert 3 just never really gripped me that much. Command & Conquer 3 was on the Xbox, and it was alright. It was on the PC as well. It was an okay game, but those two, or Command & Conquer Red Alert with the expansion pack. I think it was called Retaliation on the PlayStation. And I think it's called Aftermath on the PC. I could be mistaken. It could still have 2, but wicked game. So definitely ones to look out for. Okay, we're stepping up the ball a bit here. We're going to PlayStation 2 territory. Not exactly retro, but some games maybe are. This game isn't, I'd say, necessarily retro, but it's brilliant for me. Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3. Oh my god, what a game. It's just, there's loads of characters in it. It says more than 40 DBZ heroes, or more than 40 heroes from DBZ, DBZ movies, and Dragon Ball GT. So, which is quite true. I mean, obviously that's like the casing there. My case when I bought it, unfortunately, had a little rip just there, because it was a limited edition. Or the collector's edition. It's not exactly an easy thing to get hold of, but brilliant. And the other thing I loved about it was you could put the original Japanese voiceovers in it, because the American voices, some of them can annoy me. The Japanese voices, a lot of them are pretty good, so I'm very happy I got that. But even older than that, this was one of the first games released on the PS2. Give yourself a few seconds, see if you can think what it is. You know, any ideas at all? Sorry about that. Any ideas at all? No. Some of you might be thinking, oh, Grand Theft Auto. I think Grand Theft Auto 3 is probably what some of you are thinking. However, it's not. It's the other one. Devil May Cry. I believe this was a release game. Also going with that, Devil May Cry 2. And Devil May Cry 3, the special edition. I did have just the normal edition, but I traded it in because it doesn't. This is like a brand new save data. And the third one I had, you can get the third one with a special sleeve. Unfortunately, I never got that one, but if I did, I would have kept it. But yeah. So the Devil May Cry trilogy on the PlayStation. Before anyone who says there's 4 games, yes, I know there's 4 games, but on the PlayStation 2, there's a trilogy of them: 1, 2, and 3. Brilliant games. Apart from the second one, it's a bit crap. But Devil May Cry 1, Devil May Cry 3, yes. 2, I would say, just to get because it's 2, you know, to play it, to get the storyline. 3, just because of the awesome combos and things you can do, and also a special edition because you can play as Virgil, which is so many things. But number 1 is, just yes, you got to get number 1. Love it, brilliant. Another game going to the review, even though I said I did it yesterday. Guardian Heroes. There's the disc, and there's like maybe 1 or 2 very light surface marks on here, you know, which is brilliant. So someone has more or less looked after their disc, but it plays. It's great. One of the best RPGs I've played. It's like an RPG. Well, I say RPG. It's like RPG fighting. Like you go along the screen. It's platform. But it's the first game I think they were integrated. You could move up and down the screen, but not by walking. You pushed, I think it was the side shoulder buttons, and you then would jump up to the screen, or you would like jump down and then jump down again, depending on how many times you pushed it. And the enemy would do the same. So if you was obviously in the middle when they were on the top one, if you did an attack, you obviously can get them. You have to go up and do the attack. Loads of characters to choose from. You did have, if I can remember correctly, I know you had. So the main character, he was like obviously like swordsman. You did have a mage. You had a guy. It was like a monk, I suppose. He was sort of half fighting, half mage. And I think once you completed the game, you unlocked a special character in it, and she was basically like the main character, swordsman. I think with a little bit of magic. I think she had a bit more speed or something than he did, because of the attributes and nothing. I think you could up them at the end, or they went up levels and stuff. But once again, amazing game. Sega Saturn. I've got other Sega Saturn games. I think they're in my cupboard. But I mean, once again, Virtua Cop, Virtua Cop 2, Virtua Fighter. Excellent games. Sega Saturn, brilliant. Virtual Fighter. You know? Oh, another one, Fighting Vipers. That was brilliant. That is one game I don't have and would love to have. Fighting Vipers on the Sega Saturn. Once again, if you're on a Sega Saturn, Fighting Vipers, get it. Brilliant game. And I say the Virtua Cop. If you love the old shooting games, the Virtua Cop games, Virtua Cop 2. I have them both. 2 guns, both the games. You put them into Sega Saturn. You got the guns. You know, you can calibrate them and everything. It's just like being at the arcade, but not. You know. I mean, obviously you don't have the button to push. I think you got to push something on the not button. Sorry. No. I'm thinking of a different game, aren't I? I'm thinking of Time Crisis. That's another game for the PlayStation 2. But yeah, Virtua Cop. Say you shoot off the screen and shoot again, shoot back. You know, it's just like being at the arcade. It's wicked. But that's one game I was saying there. Time Crisis. I've got Time Crisis 3. For that, if you get a controller and put a controller on the floor, and it's going to sound strange, put the gun in port 1, the controller in port 2, or however it links up. And what it is you can put your foot on on the controller on any of the 4 buttons, and it acts as the pedal. Now, some people might not want to do it because you're treading on. You think, oh, don't tread hard, but if you tread on it, it acts like you're popping up, like you've pushed the pedal. So in a sense, it's like being at the arcade, or otherwise just push the button on the side to keep coming up. But it's your choice. So I mean, there's a load of games there. You know, I'm trying to think if there's anything else you guys might want to have a look at. Well, no, that's more or less for the retro games anyway. You know what? I am talking so much. This is going to be a 3-parter, not a 2-parter, not 2, 3. 3 parts, just because of how much I'm talking about stuff. Even if it's complete bollocks and you don't like it. 3 parts. So yeah, I guess I'll stop this, convert this, and I'll see you all in part 3. So speak to you in part 3.